Welcome back, everyone. The FBI Director James Comey is reportedly asking the Justice Department to reject President Trump's claim that he was wiretapped at Trump Tower under orders of former President Obama. That accusation, as you know, is raising all sorts of questions on how wiretaps are legally authorized. This is likely to come up this hour when White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer holds an off-camera gaggle with reporters today. But right now, we have a guest who knows exactly how some of these FISA requests work, wiretapping, etc. Asha Ranagappa is a former FBI agent who specialized in counterintelligence. She's now at Yale University, and we're lucky enough to have her for a few moments to talk about all of this. Asha, I want to point out to our viewers, we're saying reportedly a lot because, quite frankly, we have to pin it on reports. There's very little kind of factually what we know. And so that's what I want to deal with you. As someone that has requested a FISA warrant, can you just walk us through in the most basic of terms, what is a FISA warrant, when do you get it, and how is it approved?
So a FISA warrant basically allows the government to conduct electronic surveillance on a target by getting a court order which meets a certain probable cause standard that the target is engaging in foreign intelligence activity, which is basically they're spying in some way. And it's a pretty elaborate process. It requires a lot of levels of approval between the FBI and the Department of Justice, and ultimately it has to get signed off on by a federal judge sitting in a FISA court, which is a secret court.
Okay, secret court, again, that we don't even know exactly where it is. So let's just say there was a FISA warrant request on me. Let's say there was concern that I was communicating with someone inside Syria. Okay, so a FISA warrant is issued, and it's issued. I was just curious how far that goes. So I'm the subject of a FISA warrant, but what happens to the members of my team at Happening Now, for example, or the place I work at Fox News, if there's supposedly some communication between me and a foreign agent of some sort? How much data is actually collected, and what about how my team is treated?
Okay, so let's just rewind for a second. Being a U.S. citizen, which I assume you are, the standard to get a FISA warrant on you would be very high. It wouldn't be enough that you were just in communication with somebody under investigation. There would have to be more evidence there that you were acting on their behalf or doing something for them. But let's say that that standard was met and they started recording your phone conversations at work. The people around you, if they were captured in those communications, there's something called minimization, which means that the surveillance has to screen out anybody who's not actually a subject of the investigation. So there's a lot of protections that are put into place to protect Fourth Amendment rights, and the bar to surveil U.S. persons in particular, which includes citizens and permanent residents, is very high.
So when you saw this story emerge this weekend, and there was all this conversation about a FISA warrant and whether or not it was issued, number one, most of the time that would be classified. It would be kept secret from the public?
That's right.
Okay. Based on your time at the FBI, can any surveillance be done of an American citizen without a warrant?
No. Congress has spoken very clearly on this issue. So if it's a criminal investigation, they can get, the FBI can get what's called a Title III warrant. And you have to show that the target is engaging in criminal activity or has engaged in criminal activity. And to do a foreign intelligence warrant, you have to go to a FISA court and get an order there. And these are basically the exclusive means by which you can surveil U.S. persons on U.S. soil.
Okay, there's some other questions we have regarding the NSA, but I want to keep you on the FBI because obviously that's your experience. Just really quick here, going back again to the example that I'm doing something nefarious, which I'm not. I just want our viewers to know. But in the course of, let's say, that, someone's doing an investigation of me, they pick up that John Scott is somehow running a gambling ring, for example. He also is not doing that. How is that information treated when, by accident, something is found out about another American citizen?
Yeah, so after 9/11, actually, Congress clarified the FISA statute to allow for any information that's gained in the course of a FISA on criminal activity to be used in a criminal investigation. You might have heard back in 9/11 about the wall, and the wall was what prevented this kind of information from being shared, and so they broke that wall down. So, yeah, something like that would come up could be used in a criminal investigation.
Interesting. There's so many more questions. I know we just kind of brushed the surface of it, but I hope you come back, Asha, so we can talk more about it. We really appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
I would love that. Thank you so
disseminate
much.
this like no one's ever broken it down like this before. If Donald Trump is listening to his daily briefing or reading it, and he's hearing things that only someone would know if they knew him or tapped phone conversations, that would conclude him to believe that someone had to be tapping phones in the Trump organization, which makes you wonder who had that power. Goes back to the president.
He gets you're exactly right. He gets an intelligence briefing every morning. He knows more about this than any of us do. And one of them could very well have said, by the way, your predecessor was listening to those conversations you had with Kilmeade and Ducey and Ainsley and Napolitano and everybody else that met with you.
So he tweets it out at 6 and plays golf at 7.
Correct.
Do you think it happened? Do you think he was wiretapped?
Yes.
Something happened.
Yes, I do.
And the reporters aren't in trouble, per se. It's whoever leaked them the stuff.
Correct. All this stuff, once it's leaked, is lawful to print. The leaker is the person in trouble.
Why do you think it happened?
For the reasons Steve has articulated. I think they concluded by the end of, or the middle of October, that Mrs. Clinton was going down, and they wanted to see if there was a way to stop her fall and to prevent his rise, and they didn't find it.
Wow. Thanks so much, Judge. Appreciate
You're welcome, guys. All the best.
Fascinating.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.